Hi there! I do feel like I've neglected my Naked Wild West palette. I only used it for one look. So today I wanted to do another look with it. This is the inside. It has some really nice shades for everyday looks. Like I used it off camera, especially these nudes here. I use them in my everyday makeup, which is basically my weekend makeup, because my everyday makeup is the makeup that I film for for YouTube. But I'm not really going to use them today. Somebody asked me what can they do with text with this dark teal shade. The most simple answer for me would be a liner. By the way, I'm going to link a video on the screen with me using this palette for like a more glam creative look. Today we're going to do something a little bit more wearable, so let's get into it. I'm gonna start by priming my lids with a little bit of concealer. This is the Maybelline Fit Me, which I'm just going to blend with my fingers. That's going to create a smooth color on my lids. It's going to cancel out the darkness, and it's also going to be kind of a base for my shadows to blend on top. It's not going to do much in terms of longevity, so if you do want to make your eyeshadow a little bit more long-lasting, I suggest you go in with an eyeshadow primer instead of concealer. For these looks I usually just film them and remove them right away, so concealer works for that. So basically what I'm thinking is using these cool tones, the silver shade and this cool toned matte shade on the top lid with text as a wing liner. So we're going to do that. I'm not sure yet what I want to do on my bottom lid, but we'll see after that. It's no rush there. So I'm going to take a Laredo, this matte, you can see my ring light, and my flowers. These are my mother-in-law's flowers. She does love orchids a lot, so anyways, I'm going to pick up this shade. I'm gonna need a blending brush. I'm just going to use my Morphe 506 and pick up this shade. I'm going to tap off the excess from my brush, even though I didn't do my face makeup yet, so fallout, don't really care about that. But I'm going to start from my outer corner and stamp this. This is a very light color. It's kind of like a transition shade, even though it's going to be my my main color for today. Well, not really, but like I'm not going to apply any additional matte shades except for the liner. What am I talking about? Forget about it. So I'm starting from my outer corner, and then after I place down the main concentration of the pigment, I'm going to blend it into my crease, kind of like this area above my crease, because I do have deep set eyes. So exactly my crease here is not really that visible. I do usually go above it, and this blends really beautifully. I do have a lot of palettes, so usually it's really hard for me to use them all, and I feel like some of them are neglected, like this one is. I mean, it does not have that much versatility in it. You can create a few looks with it, but for me I do a lot of creative looks, so that's why maybe I don't reach for this one as often. But it's a beautiful palette for every day, especially if you love a slight pop of color. It does have this teal shade here, which is very subtle. It does look pretty vibrant in the pan, but it's really, I mean, it is quite teal, quite vibrant, but somehow it kind of looks wearable to me. I don't know. It's just not that bright in your face kind of teal. This could also be a nice pop in the inner corner if you're doing a neutral look with these shades here and these ones, and just apply this one in the inner corner if you want a pop of color but you don't want anything to be too obvious. I feel like that would also be a beautiful look. Maybe I'll do that in the future. Next I'm going to take Cowboy Rick here, which is a silver shade. I'm going to take it on a brush first. Let's see how it applies with the brush, and then I'm going to switch the finger if I need to. But for now I'm going to use the Juvia's Place Small Definer brush. And I'm going to start from the inner portion of my lid. Yeah, it's quite subtle when applied with the brush. I think I can get a little bit more vibrancy if I apply it with the finger. But again, for a natural soft look, the brush application works fine. But let me just see how the finger works. Yeah, somehow it's a lot more shinier. Or you can also wet your brush if you don't like dipping your finger into eyeshadow. That will also get you a very nice metallic finish. Then I like taking my blending brush and just diffuse this edge here, kind of blend the shimmer into the matte. You can also go into the crease again if you feel like you need to. It's just a little extra step that really helps diffuse everything. It just makes it look more blown out. I saw makeup hack online on how to do eyeliner with eyeshadow using micellar water. You basically dip your brush into micellar water and then dip into the eyeshadow and create the liner. I usually wet my brush to do eyeliner looks, but I usually wet them with setting spray. I'm kind of scared that this will dissolve my makeup, but we'll see about it. I'm just going to dip in the corner of the eyeshadow because I assume it's going to ruin the texture of the eyeshadow. So let's see, I'm going to try it myself so you don't have to ruin your shadows. I have here my micellar water. This is my favorite micellar water, by the way. It's the Garnier micellar water for sensitive skin. It's the pink one. I use this one a lot. Let me just see how I can manage to do this. This is the Makeup Addiction small angle brush. Just going to do something like that. It's so wet. So I'm going to dip my wet brush into this corner of the eyeshadow. Create kind of a gap in it. But I'm pretty sure that the micellar water will mess up the texture as well. Oh my god! Wow! That really works. I do have a spot here where it kind of didn't want to stick. Whatever, I'm just going to make it a little bit thicker. But this works amazing. Kind of similar to the setting spray technique. But it's kind of easier to drench your brush in the product, because even with setting spray, I usually have to get my brush really wet. So it works well. You basically want to create kind of a paste out of your eyeshadow. This also works for brow products. For example, if you have a brow powder which you want to turn into like a pomade, let's say if you want to draw hair strokes, you can again use something to wet your brush and create kind of a paste out of the brow powder. I'm keeping my eyes open and relaxed, and I'm going over my eye folds, and as you can see, if I raise my eyebrows, the liner has quite a weird shape, but when I look ahead, it's really nice. The eyeshadow is not really perfect at this point, so if you want to try this technique, make sure to dip into the corner like I did. Okay, I really love it. Almost no patchiness, almost zero fallout. I really love this technique. Really nice way to do your eyeliner with eyeshadow, and you can use whatever color that you want, which is also a bonus. So if you're into wing liners, you should try it. For now, I'm going to move on to my face. As usual, my Makeup Forever Dullness Eraser Primer. Just going to apply this on the sides of my face and apply a different one in the center. I'm going to use my fingers and blend this in. While in the center of my face, in my pores area, I'm going to go for a pore filling primer. This is the Beauty Blender Leveler. It's supposed to smooth out the texture, it's just so hard to squeeze out. Okay, I managed to do that. I'm just going to pop it into my pores area and just press it in. For foundation, I'm going to mix two shades from the Fenty Hydrating Longwear Foundation. I'm gonna get my hair out of the way and spread it evenly on my face. And then I'm going to take my sponge and pick up whatever excess product I might have on my hand and start blending into my skin. I'm also going to blend down my jawline so I don't have a line of demarcation here. I just want to make sure that it fades really well into my skin. I do not swipe the sponge on my face, I just do little bounces. I'm going to apply the same Maybelline Fit Me Concealer on my under eyes. Just going to place it in the inner portion, that's where I have the most discoloration. And I'm going to let it dry for a minute or two, so it kind of provides a little bit more coverage, and also this formula is quite liquidy. I like the dried out version of this a little bit more. While this has a chance to sit and dry, I'm going to do my cream contour. I'm going to use my Natasha Denona Face Glow Foundation. I'm just going to shake it up a little bit because it's pretty liquidy. It's in the shade 45, which is a really nice shade for contouring for my skin tone. I'm just going to pick it up on my brush. This is my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. And I'm just going to do little stamps under my cheekbone. It just sculpts a little bit, doesn't look very noticeable, but that's why I like it. It has a little bit of a more natural finish. I'm going to apply it on the sides of my forehead as well, And what I like to do here is connect the eyeshadow to the contour. So I'm just going to pinch my brush like that and create an extension of my eyeshadow in my temples. Then I like adding it underneath my nose to create a little bit of a lift and a little around my mouth. Then I can take my sponge again and start blending this concealer because it had a little bit of time to sit. Just going to blend it out and be careful not to go into the contour. So I'm kind of pinching my sponge like this and just use the tip of it to kind of go above the contour to create a little bit of a lift again. I'm gonna set my under eyes with the sponge. Lately I've been loving this technique. It really just smooths out and brightens and just makes the concealer so much more long lasting. But you have to make sure that your under eyes are really well moisturized for this. Otherwise it's just going to look a little bit dry. I mean, it does look a little bit drier than if you didn't apply any powder, of course. But I'll take a little bit of dryness over huge creases underneath my eyes. So I'm going to blend those before setting. And I'm picking up the powder on my sponge like that and pressing underneath my eyes. I'm actually not going to bake, I'm just going to keep pressing it in until it kind of blends in my skin. And as you can see, I brought it down a little bit, so I set my pores area with the same technique. So again, it kind of smooths them out and you can see the difference in terms of brightness and smoothness. It really makes a huge difference. I'm gonna take a brush, a small brush like this. This is a Real Technique setter brush, and pick up a little bit more powder. Tap off the excess, I don't want a lot of it. And I'm just going to apply it kind of in the center, in my T-zone, just to remove a little bit of that shine. To set the sides of my face into place and also to intensify the contour a little bit, I'm going to apply powder bronzer. This is the Dior Nude Bronzer. Lately I just don't apply powder on the sides of my face. Instead I just go over it with powder products like powder bronzer and powder blush. Just going to stamp a little bit of this. Here again I'm going to pinch my brush and really define that extension here. Then I like taking a smaller brush. I'm even going to use the one that I used to apply the shadow in the crease. I'm just going to pick up the same bronzer and connect the shadow to a little bit of a nose shading here. So I'm just going to start here and just bring it down to create a more cohesive look. For my blush today, I'm going to use my Sigma Blush Cheek Palette, and I'm going to take the lightest shade and mix in a little bit of this slightly darker one. And I'm going to apply it a little bit above the bronzer. This is a Sigma F10 brush. And whatever is left on the brush, I'm just going to dust on my forehead and the chin. I don't know, I just like doing that. I almost forgot highlighter. I'm going to apply my e.l.f. Baked Highlighter in the shade Moonlight Pearls, my favorite ever. Just going to take it on my brush. This is Sigma F03. Tap off the excess and dust it on my cheekbone, on my chin, and a little bit on my nose and like in between my brows here. I love highlighting here. And above my brows. I can really go ham with this one because it's so subtle and yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go back to my eyes and I'm going to do my lower lash line. I'm going to take the same grayish nude here and I'm going to dust this all over my lower lash line. I don't think I'm going to do much on my lower lash line today. I think I'm just going to keep like this shade all over and call it a day. Just do a little bit of defining there. I usually apply the shadow on my eye bag, so if I squeeze my eye I can really see my eye bag, and I apply it up to here, down to here actually. I forgot to highlight my inner corner, so I'm going to take a smaller brush with the same highlighter and just pop some of that in my inner corner and underneath the arch of my brow. And then I'm gonna take the same text shade, and I can't help it, this is kind of like my signature, the inner corner wing. I'm just going to do a little extension here. I'm just going to keep it very tiny. I don't know, that just changes everything for me. I'm gonna finish up the eyes with a little bit of mascara. First I'm going to curl my lashes. I'm going to skip false lashes today. The look is pretty natural, at least for me. I mean, it doesn't have any crazy dark colors. Usually when I apply a lot of deep colors on my lid, that's when I feel the need to apply false lashes, because like my natural lashes won't show in such an intense dark look, but this one is pretty light. And I'm going to apply this Sephora Collection, the mascara. I'm starting at the base of my lashes, wiggling my brush so I get every lash, and I usually apply 2 coats. I'm going to apply it on my lower lashes as well. On my lips I'm going to go for this NYX Nude Beige lip pencil. I feel like it kind of matches the eyeshadow, it's that kind of a cool tone nude. It matches my crease color, to be more specific. Just going to overline in the center. To add a little bit of dimension to my lips, I'm going to apply a lighter color in the middle. This is the Sleek Matte Me in the shade Feels. Such a beautiful nude. Very light in color though. Just going to apply it in the center. And kind of blend it out with my finger. Slightly more warm than the lip pencil, but it kind of works. And especially because my lips are feeling so dry, I'm going to finish off with this Essence gloss. It has a little bit of a shimmer in it. Just going to concentrate it in the center. And this is today's look all complete. I really hope you like how it came out. To me it's very wearable, very everyday, suitable. But let me know what you think. Obviously, if the teal liner is too much, I don't think it is because it's dark in color. You can use brown instead and just create an all neutral look. I really hope you enjoyed it and you learned something. Will you try the micellar water hack? I'm curious because that is really nice. It kind of works the same way that it does with the setting spray, but with the setting spray it's kind of harder to drench the brush into it. You gotta spray really close to it to get the same wet brush effect. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. And I hope you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!